Okay, this is called the skeleton in the cupboard. A very, very magical trick. Probably the trick in the whole show that has got some actual magical contents to it. And you'll often get parents, occasionally get parents or kind of older siblings saying, "Oh, how did you do the skeleton? How did you do the skeleton?" Because it's actually quite a clever trick. It probably goes on for about 3.5 to 4 minutes tops, but it's very, very smooth all the way through, and the children do seem to be hooked into it. You've probably just done the washing machine trick before it, so this is straight after that, but it is a great trick for just perhaps bringing them down a level. Maybe a bit too excited from the last trick, but this one does bring them down a level, because the clever thing about this one, it has lots of controlling lines in it. So it starts by saying arms crossed, legs crossed, and your bones crossed. And that straight away is a very clever line, because they all cross their arms, they all cross their legs, and then instantly they've done it, but they've also forgotten about the fact they were being told off, or not told off so much, being told what to do because you've made it funny, and their bones crossed. So that's a very clever line. And there's one or two further on into the trick which do exactly the same thing, just making sure they're all sitting in exactly the right place, and you're not having to spend all your time getting them to sit back down again off their knees and all that kind of thing. So it's a very good controlling trick, as many of them are. On the downside, it probably is the hardest trick of the whole show to execute. There is magical talent in it, but you will probably saw through it and it'll be fine. And when you've done this one, you can realise that anything else is going to be a walk in the park, but just perhaps takes a little bit longer to learn this one, so hang on in there. Okay, it's time to see something a little bit scary. This is nearly as scary as George when he gets out of bed in the morning. It's time to see a skeleton. So arms crossed, and your legs crossed, and your bones crossed. Here he comes, here he comes. Here he comes, here he comes. Oh! He's not scary, is he? Nah. Now his name is Fred Boney, but he's not been feeling very well, and the doctor said if anybody breaks him, they are in big trouble. So I think we should give him a big clap for being here today. Hooray! What? What? Ah! Who did that? I did. Did I? Oh yeah, when I went to clap like that, they... Oh no, look. He's completely busted. Don't panic, we'll fix him quick. Look, that's his legs, that's his body, and that's his head. So, what goes at the bottom? His legs. His pegs. Oh, his legs. That's his legs. Good. In go his legs. Next, it's your body, because your body always goes in the middle. So you put your what? Ah! Oh, that's not his body, that's his head. That's his body? Good. In goes his body. And last of all, his head. Do you think he looks a bit like me? Nah. And there goes his head. All back together again. Phew. Should we have a quick check? Yeah, but he is alright. Well done, everybody. Good teamwork. There we go. All back together again. Yay! There we go. What? Ah! Hey! He's standing on his head. That's a funny way to stand on your head. Oh, don't worry. Try again. So what goes at the bottom? His legs. There you go, legs. Oh, better put the cupboard on. And what goes in the middle? His body? No, not body. Body. George, don't say body. And last of all, his head, because his head always goes on upside down. What? Ah! Oh, phew. Thank you. Is that right? Do you think he's all right now? Yes. No. What do you mean no? He is all right. He is? All right, we'll check. Ah, I told you he was all right there. No, you... What? Ugh. I know what to do. We're going to play a trick on him, but you have to sit really, really quietly. Shh. Okay. I'll turn his head round so he can't see us. Shh. Is he looking? No. What goes at the bottom? His legs. Shh. Is he looking? No. What goes in the middle? His body. Not body. Stop saying body, George. Oh, better put the cupboard on. And last of all, his head. going to play a trick on him. I'll put his head in like that. But you mustn't laugh when I put his head in. No laughing. No laughing. Okay. Right, after 3, everybody say, nurny, 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 your head's on the wrong way. 1, 2, 3. Nurny, 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 your head's on the wrong way. Nurny. He's alright. How does he do that? I know. Give him a big clap. Ooh. Don't worry. Put him back in his cupboard and put him back in the dustbin. This trick, as many of them do have in our show, is very much magician in trouble kind of thing. It's a story of a skeleton who is in 3 blocks, who you knock down and look stupid, and magician in trouble again. And then basically it's 2 or 3 times, it's 3 times to try and make him right again. And finally on the 3rd time he does become right. So that's the synopsis of the trick, and here's how it's done. Okay, so how's it done? Well, it is a very clever trick. That's probably the most magical trick we do. And the way it works is you have your skeleton, which is in 3 blocks, as you know. But the key to this point is there is actually a 4th block. Okay, so there it is. There's an extra head, and that's how the trick is done. It's, in magic terms, it's called the one-ahead principle. There's always an extra block that the audience never know about, but they think the box is only hold 3 blocks. If you look at it, in a way, it's bleedingly obvious that it's a bit bigger than 3, but actually you never ever do that, so it's always more difficult to realise that there's a discrepancy. Whenever you're doing the trick, you always lie the box down next to it, and then it's much more difficult to realise there's a difference in length to the height of the blocks. The way this extra block is held in place is very clever. There is a hole at the back of there, so just coming close, you see there's a hole there, and that is what you hold, put your finger through, and you hold the extra blocks. If I show you, put it in, you can pick it up like that. Not that you ever do that in the trick, but that's the way it's done. And I'm holding it there. You never really want to have it quite that far. I know we're trying to keep it to about that position there. If you can, just maybe a centimetre or 2 into the actual blocks. So that's how you hold it. And when you're coming up here, I'll do it from the front and then from the back as well. Move it in a bit. There you go. Up it goes. Hold the block, and you can feel. You'll feel as you lift it up. You'll feel the kind of what they call. You'll feel the edges of the blocks as you bring it up. So there's 1 there, 2, 3, and hold. So as soon as you feel the 3rd block, put your finger, apply pressure with your finger, then you'll catch it. I'll do it from the back. There we go. So there it is. Just come on the other side so you can see. So as you pick it up, you go like that. 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks. Apply pressure, and that's where you do it. Okay, so that's a view from the back. So 1 more time from the back. Like that. Okay, and you apply pressure with the finger. Now, to begin with, you'll find it quite hard to do. You'll do stuff like this. You'll lift it up, and you won't be quick enough, and the block will begin to show, and you'll pull it up like that, and you'll reveal the head. Okay, not good, as you can probably tell. You won't do it very often. Don't panic. You might also do this. You might apply pressure too early, so you might lift it off like that. And go, oops. Now, when you think about the trick, obviously that is better than actually revealing the final head. So if you do it like this, if you're going to make a mistake, in other words, don't make that mistake, make that mistake. Okay, because it could technically have got stuck in the box. And you can make allusions to that if it does get, so you go, oh, there you go, oh, that's it, okay, there we go. That's much better than revealing the extra head. Practice and practice and practice, and in the end, you'll get very good at it. In a funny kind of a way, doing it slowly, although I recommend you do it slowly to begin with, in a way, once you get the hang of it, it does seem to be easier to do it quicker than it does to be able to do it slower. I'm not sure why, that just seems to be the case. But you'll get the hang of it, and you'll get the hang of it quite quickly, and actually you'll be quite chuffed with yourself when you finish the trick, and you'll have done it. So that's the mechanics of the trick, and here's the run through. I'm going to take you through it stage by stage and show you a very easy way to remember how to put the blocks in the right places at the right time. Now, obviously you start the trick by doing the skeleton, doing the bang, and then once you've revealed him and then you've knocked him down by mistake, oh no, that's terrible, don't worry, we'll fix him. You've got him to this position. And this is the position you're going to be in at the beginning of each run through that you do. So after you've revealed him for the first time and his legs he's standing on his head at the bottom, you then put the bricks back to that stage, and each time you put the bricks back to that stage, and that's your working platform. Now, you always start with the blocks up there, and the box must always be lying down. Now, this is the way to remember it. Each time you do the trick, it's 0, 1, 2. So the first time, and that refers to the number of blocks that are standing here before you put the cupboard on. Okay, so the first time you do the run through, so you just knocked him all down, you put him up there. The first time you do the run through, the answer is 0. So it's 0 blocks there, and then you put your cupboard down. Okay, and then you put your bricks in. Okay, and then you reveal him, and there he is. Oh no, he's standing on his head. Don't worry, try again. Put the blocks back up there again. Okay, now the second time you run through it, the answer is 1. And the one answer is you have 1 block sitting there. So you put your block there, and then you put the cupboard on. So it's 1. Okay, so the first time you do the run through, it was 0. This time you do the run through, it's 1. Blocks down before you put the cupboard on. And then you put the rest of the cupboard bricks in, reveal him. Oh no, he's still not right. Don't worry, try again. I know, I think he's playing a trick on us. Let's play a trick on him. I'll turn his head round so he can't see us. Okay, and this time, because it's your third run through, the number of blocks you have on here before you put the cupboard on is 2. So you put 1 there, 1 there. Oops, haven't put the cupboard on. Put the cupboard on. Okay, and then you put the head in back to front. Ha! That'll teach him a lesson. No, 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 your head's on the wrong way. Hey, he's all right. How does he do that? Okay, so that is the long and short of it. It's 0, 1, 2. Okay, so the first time you do a run through, you have no blocks down. Okay, and you put the cupboard down. The second time you do it, you have 1 down. The third time you do it, you have 2 down. And that's the way to remember it. 0, 1, 2. Okay? So you've just finished doing the washing machine trick, and this comes directly after that. It might be a bit hyped up from the washing machine trick, so they need to be put back into the right places, not physically obviously, but they need to be kind of all sitting on their bottoms in the way that you want them to be sat. And this is how you do it. You say, it's time to see something a bit scary. This is nearly as scary as George when he gets out of bed in the morning. So make sure you've got your arms crossed, and your legs crossed, and your bones crossed. And that's the crucial line. Arms crossed, legs crossed, bones crossed. And that will make them go back into their rightful places as they should be. Now, the reason we do that is arms crossed, legs crossed is what they're used to at school. But we're not at school, we're not a teacher. We want the same results that they would have as a teacher. But we're kind of meant to be entertainers. So on the end of it, you put bones crossed. And you haven't got to do anything. If you're doing a scamp trick, then you put on the whiskers crossed or whatever. Or a nice cheesy grin, or whatever you want to use. I put something on the end of it that what we call tempers it, but it has the right result that you want, i.e. they're all sitting on their bottoms, but also it makes you look like you're entertaining still, which is a double bonus. So it's time for something a bit scary. It's nearly as scary as George when he gets out of bed in the morning. It's time to see a skeleton. So arms crossed, and your legs crossed, and your bones crossed. One more thing while we're on that, you must do the actions as well. They always say that 10% of what you learn is verbal, or what you understand, and 70% is visual. I'm not sure what the other 20% is, but anyway. But visual, them seeing you do it will be a very good reminder for them to do it. So always make sure you got arms crossed, legs crossed, and all that kind of thing. And then they will copy you. Now, after you said that line, you go, it's nearly as scary as George when he gets out of bed in the morning, so arms crossed, legs crossed, bones crossed. You then say, here he comes, here he comes. Now you start to reveal, but actually you don't get very far. You get about halfway up the first block, you bring it out sharply, and you go, ooh, okay, and that will make them jump, carry on the scary thing. So it goes like this, here he comes, here he comes, oh, oh, and then bring it off. When after a moment or two you say, bring it up, you go, he's not scary, is he? No. Now his name is Fred Boney, but he's not been feeling very well. And the doctor said if anybody breaks him, they get in big trouble. So I think we should give him a big clap for being here today. Hooray! That's what we're trying to aim to do, to knock the top head off. You don't look, you kind of look the other way, and the children will begin to shout, look, what you done, what you done. And you look at it, go, ah! And then you get cross because you think one of them has done it, and you say, who did that? And they'll all shout, you did. And then you say, did I? And then you have what you think, what we call it as a moment of realisation. It's kind of a light bulb pops on your head and you go, oh yeah, it was me. When I tried to clap, I'm like, oh no, look, now I've knocked him all over. Don't panic, we can fix him. Now, that is the stage at which you are at. So you've knocked him down and your blocks are like that. Now, what you mustn't do is this. That's the end result that you want, but it took such a long time to get there, and there was a whole dead spot there where there were no words or anything like that. Okay, I didn't tell you what the words were, but still, you can't do it like that. When he's like that, so you've knocked him down and you put the box down straight away like that, okay? And then you go, don't panic, we can fix him. Look, okay, so that's it. That's where you get to. So you pick him all up, both hands, you shove him up the top in the right order, and you go, and then you're going to describe the block. So you say, that's his legs. That's his body, and that's his... Now you don't say head this time, you're waiting for them to respond. You want them to get used to shouting. So you go, and that's his... They'll shout head, and you go, yeah. What you don't say is you don't say, and that's... And wait for them to say his head. Because some of them will shout his head, and some of them will shout head. And you just want it to be a bit more uniform from that. So you know that if you say, and that's his, so the line is, and that's his... They will all shout, head. There you go, you're done. Okay. So that's the describing of the blocks, and then it comes down to the first run through, which is going to be naught. So you're going to have your cupboard straight down onto the table there. So you start by saying, what goes at the bottom? His. Now you point to the legs, but you don't say legs. So the line is, what goes at the bottom, his. The line is not, what goes at the bottom. Okay, the line is, what goes at the bottom, his. They will all shout legs. So you say, what goes at the bottom, his. And as you do that, you pick the cupboard up. So you very quickly point to it like that almost. What goes at the bottom, his. And they'll all shout legs. You shout pegs. And they'll all shout, no, legs. And at that point, you do this. You let go of the head, okay? Letting go of the head does cause a noise, so you need to cover it up. And that's how we do it. What goes at the bottom, his, they'll all shout legs, you say pegs, they all say no, legs. And as they shout legs, the noise of them shouting covers up this, okay? I know it's a bit kind of taking it a bit too far, maybe, and it's perhaps a bit too magical for our show, but it's worth covering it up anyway. So that's what you do. After you put the cupboard down, and hidden the noise of the block dropping by the children speaking and shouting legs, you then say, right, so it's his legs. In go his legs. Okay? Now, when it comes to the second brick, you don't say what goes in the middle his, because you actually want to make sure that they use the word body, because there's going to be a gag later on where you compare the word body to botty, and it's quite a good gag. But you don't want them saying tummy or stomach or anything like that. So what you use is the word body. So you tell this time around, you don't say what goes in the middle his, but then what you say, right, next, it's his body, because your body always goes in the middle. Now, you do some fumbling around, you pretend to go for the body, and then you mistakenly pick up the head. So it goes like this. Next, it's your body, because your body always goes in the middle. Rah! So you see it, you throw it in the air, and you go, that's not his body, that's his body. Now, I'll go through that again and actually count the number of times I say body, so it gets it into the children's psyche that the word is body and not stomach, tummy or anything like that. And then later on when you call it on it for the gag, it'll work because you've ingrained it in their brains. So watch, I think it's 5 times that you say the word body. So this time I count how many times you say body. So you say, next, it's your body. That's 1. Because your body ought to always goes in the middle. You do a double take, you throw it in there, cool. That's not his body, is it? No. That's 3. That's his body. Your body always goes in the middle. 4 and 5. So that's 5 bodies. And there it is in there. Okay? And last of all, your head. Because your head always goes on last. You do a double take, you put it next to your head and say, do you think he looks a bit like me? You're bound to get a yes. If you get a yes, you just say, oi, cheeky. Anyway, I'll put it in. And that's that. And then you're ready to reveal. And this is where you reveal. And you go, and while you're revealing, you say, oh, thank goodness, because you were in trouble with the doctor. You need to remember that. You were in trouble with the doctor. Not that it really kind of plays a big part in the gag, but you're kind of quite relieved that when you pull the cupboard up, you think it's all right. You don't see that it's wrong. The children will tell you, they're all in good time. So you pull it up and you go, hooray! We fixed him! Phew! There we go. All back together again. Now during that sentence that you just said, they will all be shouting, look, 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 look. So this is what you do. Now, you could just do this. Watch. This is the wrong way to do it, but you'll see why in a minute. You could just do this. Oh no, look, he's standing on his head. Now, what's happened there is, you've got some reaction from the kids about what's happened, but you haven't maxed it out. You need to get much more out of it than just, oh look, he's standing on his head. Okay, so that was the wrong way to do it. This is the right way to do it. I'll show you a quick run through and then I'll explain why I do it like I do it. Okay, here we go. Phew, thank goodness for that. We fixed him. All back together again. Good teamwork. There we go. All back together again. Yay, we've done it. What? 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 Where? Ah! Hey. He's standing on his head. That's a funny way to stand on your head. Don't worry, we'll try again. Okay, now I'll explain why we do it like that. It maximises what's funny. Instead of getting one gag, but just by lifting it off and saying, oh look, he's standing on his head. Wrong way to do it. You're getting much more out of it the second way of doing it. First of all, when you reveal, you get a great reaction from the children shouting, look, 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 look. That's reaction one, because you're not looking at it, you're looking at the children. It's celebrating because you think you've fixed him. That's your first one. The second one, you then jump in the air and you go, oh, because you look and you go, oh no. So they then laugh at you because you kind of didn't realise what was happening. So that's funny to them as well. So that's 2 laughs you got out of it. You then go over backwards like that. And because you're turning round and doing something a bit different, that's funny as well. That's 3. And then you go, when you come up again, you go, hey, he's standing on his head. That's a funny gag, so that's 4. And finally, number 5 is, that's a funny way to stand on your head. Don't worry, try again. At that point you put him up, okay? So that is a funny way to do it. Okay, I'm going to give you a run through of the second time round. So you've just done your reveal. You've gone, yeah, he's all right. What? Ah! That's funny, he's standing on his head. That's a funny way to stand on your head. And then you say, don't worry, we'll try again. Right, what goes at the bottom? His legs, that's right, good. Oh, I haven't put the cupboard on. Now, what goes in the middle? His body. Body? George, did you say body? It's not body, it's body. There goes his body. And last of all, his head. Now your head always goes on last. That's all. Oh, not like that. There we go. Good. All back together again. Do you think he's all right now? Yes, he is. Yeah, he is all right. All right, I'll show you, but he is all right. See, there. No. I told you he was all right that time. What's wrong? Ah! Ugh. Okay, this is the explanation of the second run through, which is number 1, of course, in our 0, 1, 2. So you say, right, what goes at the bottom? His, and then also legs, so you put legs down. And then you said you kind of fake that you've forgotten to put the cupboard on. Oh no, I forgot to put the cupboard on. There we go. Now, what goes in the middle? His, and if you pat your body, it gives them a better indication to say body, so they're getting it right. Because this is the crunch of the whole routine, that you're about to get the gag out for body rather than body. You've been working up, all your language you've been using so far has been working up to using the word body and thinking they say body. So the kind of the capping of that is you tapping your body so they know exactly what to shout, so you don't get any heads to be shouted out by mistake. So you go, what goes in the middle? His body. And you go for the body, you say, body? George, did you say body? It's not body, it's body. In goes his body. And last of all, his head. And this time, you throw it in the air, you catch it, and you say, and then you tap it on your head, and in that process, you try and get it so that you make sure that you're going to be holding it like that when he goes over again. Because your head always goes on last. and they see you going upside down, they go, oh no, not like that, like that. Okay, so you put it in the right order, but you know that the legs are going to be there because you've covered them up with the box, the body's there, sorry, the head's there rather, and then the rest of it's there. So when you put it off, the head's going to be in the middle. Now this time, when you do it, it's going to be a case of you not seeing what's gone wrong, and the children will shout out, and you will jump when you see it. But that's all you make. Actually, you don't jump. Even you can jump, or you can go. Ugh. I kind of go ugh, as if thinking, oh come on. So I do like this. I go, yay! But actually, before we go on, there's another good one here. You say, the line you use is, do you think he's all right now? And they will shout no, because they always do shout no. Sometimes they yes, but on the whole they shout no because they kind of get a hang of it by now. But you enter into a bit of a kind of a yes-no thing with them, and you shout, yes he is, and they shout, no he isn't. Yeah, alright, I'll show you then. See? And then, I told you he was alright. There, no. See? And then when you see it, when they're all shouting, I kind of shrug my shoulder, I go, ugh, drop my shoulders like that. So this is the third and final run through, and it starts from the position that you left it. For once you don't put the blocks up the top, you leave him there, and you come to the audience and say, hey, I think he's playing a trick on us, so shall we play a trick on him? Yeah. But then you say, but you have to sit really, really quietly. Shh. Okay. I'll turn his head round so he can't see us. Is he looking? No. What goes at the bottom? His legs. Good. What goes in the middle? His butt. Will you stop saying body, George, please? Come on. Shh. Right. And last of all, oh, I haven't put the cupboard on. Now, we're going to play a trick on him. I'll put his head in like that. But you mustn't laugh when I put his head in. No laughing. No laughing. Oh. Anyway, won't he look funny? Fancy having your head on back to front. I know. After 3, everybody say, nurny, 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 your head's on the wrong way. 1, 2, 3. Nurny, 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 your head's on the wrong way. Nurny. Hey, he's all right. Give him a big clap. Okay, there he goes. Back in the cupboard and back in the bin. Okay, here's the explanation of how to do the third run through. Okay, you come forward and you say, very quietly say, in a very low voice, say, I think he's playing a joke on us, so shall we play a joke on him? And they'll all say yes. So say, I know, but you have to sit really, really quietly. Shh. There you go. And you put him back up again while they're sitting quietly. And you go, right, I'll turn his head round so he can't see us. Is he looking? No. Right, what goes at the bottom? His legs. Good. Is he looking? No. What goes in the middle? His body, not body, George, body. So that's your 2. So instead of 0 to 1, this time it's 2. So you get your 2 bricks on, and you're going to cover it with the head, which you know is around the right way, and it's all done. So you now know that it's ready. So you can do what you like with the last head. So the last one goes like that. Okay? And say, right, Bush, but no laughing when I put his head in. Now sometimes they will laugh, and if they laugh, you can kind of give up on them and put it in anyway. If they don't laugh, just say, when you put it in, just say, well done. So you put it in, no laughing, no laughing. Good. Right. Fancy having your head on back to front. I know. After 3, everybody say, nurny, 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 your head's on the wrong way. Now, make sure you say that quite quickly. You'll only have to say it once, but just say, no, 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 your head's on the wrong way. Now, as you're going through, no, 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 your head's on the wrong way, you want to start lifting the cupboard up. So you tee them up and you say, after 3, everybody say, no, 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 your head's on the wrong way. And you go, and then as soon as you finish that, you go, 1, 2, 3. You mustn't pause there, because if you pause after you say, no, 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 the head's on the wrong way, and then go, 1, 2, 3, they will start saying, no, 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 your head's on the wrong way. So you go, after 3, everybody say, no, 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 your head's on the wrong way. 1, 2, 3. No, 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 your head's on the wrong way. Oops, it caught it a bit there, but that's okay. And he's all right. What you don't want to do is this. You don't want to do, no, 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 your head's on the wrong way. You'll never get to the end of the sentence. They'll be too busy shouting. So make sure that on the wrong way as you say no, 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 head's on the wrong way, as you hit way, you should be just about to reveal the head brick. So it's no, 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 your head's on the wrong way. That's just about perfect. If you want to begin, you'll find that you're getting there too early. Just wait a little bit. So go no, 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 your head's on the wrong way before you start lifting it off, and then you don't see it. So it's the old not seeing children do see. So go no, 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 your head's on the wrong way. What's wrong? What's wrong? Ah! Then you say, how did he do that? I don't know. I know. Let's give him a big clap. And if you clap the box and go it's funny. They'll laugh. Still don't know why they laugh, but they do. Just try it. You'll see why. Just go, and say, put him back in the bin. Put him back in his cupboard and back in the bin. And there he goes. Just a few closing thoughts. Perhaps the most important one to remember is that when you are setting up, when you've arrived at the party and you're setting up your magic show, and you pull out the skeleton coming out of your case, remember to turn the block round, because when you've ended the trick from the night before or the day before, then the head will be around the wrong way. So that's the first thing to do. Just stick your finger up from the bottom, the head pops up a little bit, just pick it out, turn it, spin it round and put it back in again, and you're set to go. The easiest setup in the business. What you should do when you're doing it early days and you're not too sure about it, it can be quite good to look when you reveal. Now, I know we're not meant to be seeing what's happening, and it's meant to be a surprise to us and the children shout out, but I think even nowadays when I do the trick, I think I still look at me revealing the bricks. It tends to help me to know when to apply pressure as to grab the head. So don't be shy, don't be afraid of looking at what's happening as you're pulling off the cupboard to reveal a skeleton in the wrong order. Don't be worried about that. The line, when you're going to be playing a joke on him, say, shh, we're going to play a joke on him, but you have to sit really, really quietly. It is a great line for getting them all to sit really nicely. It just happens, just works. So it gets them all in the right place. I think you're about to say really, really nicely, but if you say just sit really, really quietly, and they'll move in exactly the right place, all cross their arms across legs, and it's perfect. And you've not really had to work at that at all. Err on the side of caution when you're revealing. So if you are unsure, always apply pressure early rather than late. Much better to get the head accidentally stuck in the tube rather than revealing that extra head. It'll make it look a bit daft otherwise. That is about it really. So enjoy it. Once you've mastered this, you probably get as hard as it gets with regards to the actual mechanics of any trick. So once you've mastered this, you must be a real magician.